with Jay.
I'm Ryan.
Ryan. And your name is?
Sandy.
Sandy. Good to meet you. Good to meet you. So we're up here in Mt Helix in La Mesa, California. And we're asking the big question of people. What do you think is going to happen to you after you die? What do you think?
Well, I hope that if I live the life to the best of my ability, I will go to heaven someday.
Okay.
That's what I hope would happen.
Okay. How about you?
Same.
Do you agree with that? Okay. So how does that work for you? How are you going to get to heaven?
Well, I've been Catholic all my life. My mom is Catholic, and my sister's also practicing Catholic. And so if I follow what I was taught in the church growing up and do good for others and be a good person overall, and I live my life for God, that I will make it to heaven someday.
Mm-hmm. So do you go to church in the area, or?
I'm from Rancho Cucamonga, California.
Okay.
So I've gone to the same church for 90% of my life, except for when I was in college at the University of Redlands, that I went while I was in Redlands.
Okay. So you go to a Catholic church too, or?
I do.
You do? Okay. Okay. So just so that right at the beginning, my wife and I are Christian, and we actually go to a local church in the area, Humble Community Church. So we've been attending there, and so my wife and I had we're sharing the gospel with you guys right now, but we had an unusual thing happen to us on November the 6th of 2007. You guys remember the San Diego wildfires?
Yes.
Yeah, it was right after those wildfires. We had a 18-year-old son that got in a car accident on the lost his life on the 94 West freeway over here. And you may have seen this accident. I don't know if you were in the area around that time period. But he lost his life. Let me show you this picture. You can actually have a card too. If you look at that roof of that house closely, there's a white cross painted on that roof. And that cross was there before his accident. And how it happened was, like I said, it was after the October wildfires, and he was driving in a car. He'd been driving for 1 week when it happened. He was used to driving a 4-cylinder Jeep that didn't get over 55 miles an hour, almost pushing the floor. And he had an accurate integrity that he had to have, and so he was a cross-country runner. And he'd been running since he was 8 years old. He ran 40-plus miles a week. And the night before his accident, he got a shoe company sponsored him to try out some shoes. So he was dressed in his practice running clothes and his brand new shoes. Hadn't even run them yet at all. And he was running late for a cross-country running class that started just after 12. And he was going 90 miles an hour on that 94 West, and he was in the fast lane, right over there by the In-N-Out Burger, and lost control, and went across traffic, and hit a pepper tree stood right in front of this house before right here, split his car in half, ejected him out of the seatbelt, and he landed on his back looking up at the cross in the backyard of that house. With the lawn there, just kind of looked right up there, just right on his back. Parts of his car were completely scattered around this cross on the roof. It's actually on top of the roof around the car. If you go up into our website, there's news footage of the accident, and it actually shows the car parts around the roof and the skid marks. These are his skid marks right here. They're dead center on that cross. If you look closely, there's better photos up on the website. So that actually happened. That was a trial in our life. And, a lot of people say, "Oh, he's okay. He's probably in heaven." All this. I pray that he's in heaven. Do I think he accepted Christ before he lost his life? Yeah, I think he did. But only God knows that. A lot of people will give lip service to that, but the question is, do they really mean it? Do they really accept Jesus Christ in their life? Do they really ask Him forgiveness for their sins that they've occurred in this life? And so I pray out that he is. So that happened, and our relationship with the Lord is the only thing that's gotten us through it. But a couple of things occurred. Donated his body. We got the letter, and my wife and I are foster youth mentors, and we've been foster youth mentors for about 6 years. And one weekend we were taking one of our foster youth to Coronado for a bike ride, and we hadn't heard from the boy that received my son's donation. We were driving down the 94 West right in front of the house, and my wife's cell phone rings, and it's the boy that got the donation for the very first time calling us. So he got it, I mean, right in front of the house. It's like yeah, okay, his name's Blake. And I said, okay, we'll meet you for dinner. So then we had dinner with him at up in Carlsbad at a Claimsdorfer restaurant, and we went in there and we had dinner with him. And the first thing we noticed is that he had about the same build as my son. It was like about the same height and everything. We sat down and had dinner. He was with his mom. And we started talking to him, asking questions, and just kind of getting to know each other. And we find out he drives the same car as my son.
The Acura Integra?
Yeah.
Wow.
Drives the Acura Integra. Then we started talking a little bit further, and his parents are foster youth mentors like we are. And then we find out his father is a child abuse judge. So, so we go, you know what? I think we need to kind of pursue this whole idea of adoption. Maybe we were talking about adoption, and maybe this is kind of a sign that we need to kind of work through this and keep going down the road. So that occurred. That was a little different. So we had the cross, and then we had the donation. We meet him, drives the same car as him, foster youth mentors, child abuse judge. Then the other thing occurred. My wife and I had been talking about adoption for what we didn't know who to ask about it. We met a lady at our church, and we were going to the Rock Church at the time here in San Diego in the Lamont area. And we talked to a lady there, and she didn't have really the time to talk to us too much. And she left a phone number with my wife and said she'll call Pam later and give her some details about the adoption process. And so we left her. We didn't hear back from her for months. She went to a mission trip to Jamaica. So the last place we left my son alive was the Olive Garden restaurant in Grossmont Center. So one night we just kind of got up the nerve to go to the restaurant and have dinner for the very first time. We went there, had dinner. That's the last time we saw him alive. And we had the dinner. We walked back out in the parking lot, and about the very spot that we said goodbye to him in the parking lot, my wife's cell phone rings, and it's the lady calling us about the adoption process, telling us how to do it, who to call, what website to look at. So, oh boy, we better go down this whole adoption route. This is it. God's telling us to do this. Yeah. So we did. So we started down the process. In fact, the boy we're adopting is at the bottom of this hill right now, and we're in about the last month of the adoption process.
Is he playing dominoes?
Yeah. So anyway, the very first time we go to meet him, we're given an address. We don't know where he's at. Nothing. Just given an address. My wife sticks the address into her phone, and she's got one of those GPS phones that says right, left, kind of voice activated type thing. So we start following directions, right, left, right, left. We start noticing we're getting close to Mesa College, and that's where my son was headed when he died, to Mesa College. Now, why are we getting close to Mesa College? What is up with this? We're getting closer to Mesa College. We're at the entrance of Mesa College, and we're both just looking at each other in awe. And her phone says turn left, and the place he stays at borders Mesa College. So it was like whoa. So like I said, we're in probably the last month before we're going to have him permanently in our home, and it's just. I tell you that story because we felt God was working in it all, and He's working all around us all the time. And He wants you guys in heaven. He wants us. That's His desire for us to really believe that He came to this world and He died on the cross for our sins. We're all sinners. We've all done things wrong. That's one of the questions we ask people. Do you think you're a good person? And most people that we interview say, you know what, I'm a good person. And then we try to really get them in touch with that. And what we give them is the good person test. And